we're going to talk about something that I know a lot of you are feeling. It's that sense of being stuck financially, even when you're convinced you're doing everything right. It's a really common frustration.
I mean, does this sound like your life? You did everything you were told to do. You studied, you worked your tail off, you were disciplined.
And for all that, you're still broke. Or, at the very least, just constantly stressed about money. Every single month.
And look, I want to be super clear about something. This isn't some motivational pep talk. This is an explanation. We're here to get to the bottom of what's actually going on.
Because the big takeaway, the thing I really want you to hear today, is this. The problem isn't you. So let's get into it. Why does it feel like you're playing a rigged game? Let's unpack why following the rules we all learned just isn't working anymore.
Think about it. You followed the plan, didn't you? You didn't make any stupid mistakes. You weren't frivolous with your money. You did everything right. And still, every month is just a little too tight.
And eventually, all that quiet frustration just boils over, and you find yourself asking, what am I missing here? You start to get this nagging feeling that maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the system.
Well, here's the tough part. The uncomfortable truth is, you're playing the game exactly how it was designed to be played, and that's the reason it's not working.
Okay, so this leads us to a really, really important shift in thinking. We have to stop focusing on performance and start focusing on positioning. Because that, my friends, is where the real rules of the game are. This is the great reframe. The old rule, the one we were all sold, was if you do things right, money will follow. But the new rule, the one that's actually true, is that money doesn't care about correctness. It rewards positioning. And here's the crazy part, the real paradox. Most of the smartest, most hardworking people out there, they are positioned in the absolute worst possible place to ever build real wealth. So what does that safe position look like? Well, it's predictable. That makes you replaceable. It gives you almost no leverage. And crucially, you have zero ownership. Now that's not a knock on you, that's just how the system is built. So how does the system actually keep you stuck in that position? Let's talk about the 3 big financial traps. Yeah, these are the traps we're literally conditioned to walk right into. First, we're trained to prioritize safety over everything. Second, we get paralyzed by our own intelligence, by overthinking. And third, we're taught that the only way to make money is to trade our time for it. Okay, let's unpack that first trap. The system trains us for safety. Think about it. School teaches you to avoid mistakes at all costs. Your job trains you to follow instructions to the letter. And society tells you this is what it means to be responsible. And here's the fundamental disconnect. The system promises you survival. And hey, it delivers. But that's not what you actually want, is it? You want freedom. And survival and freedom, they are not the same thing. Not even close. All right, trap number 2. And this one is a real mind bender. Smart people, right? They don't fail because they're careless. No, they fail because they wait. They wait for the perfect moment, for 100% certainty, until they feel completely safe. And that overthinking, it feels so responsible, doesn't it? But man, financially, it is so expensive. Because while you're stuck in analysis paralysis, trying to craft the perfect plan, other people are just out there. They're trying stuff, failing, learning, and figuring out how money actually works. Which brings us perfectly to trap number 3, probably the biggest one of all, trading your time for money. That paycheck, it feels fair, it feels safe. But here's the thing, fairness doesn't scale. Wealth flows to systems, to ownership, to leverage, not just to how hard you work. Okay, so we've talked about the traps. What's the way out? What's the escape plan? Well, it's not about working harder. It's about changing where you put your effort. That's the path to real freedom. So what's the move? What do you actually do now? This lays it out pretty clearly. The dead end is trying to work harder, or maybe gambling on some shortcut. The real way out? It's about building systems, gaining leverage, and acquiring ownership, even just a little bit to start. And as we're wrapping up, I really want this to sink in. If you feel like you're behind, you're not broken. You're just in the early stages of a game that's designed to reward all the wrong things first. You know, things like safety and predictability, and just following the rules.
But the second you see how the game is actually played, well, that's when you can stop blaming yourself. And that's when you can start making smarter moves. Moves that are all about positioning, not just performance.